All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 18 of the podcast. Hey, Infidel. So, Gamescom 2013, huh? More
Yeah,
like, more
Germany.
like, more like Battlefield Com 2013.
No.
But I wanted to get this out of the way because yeah, we were just talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 before we started, and yeah, I'm about to play the Grand Theft Auto Online gameplay video. Oh, which is very tiny. Hold on. Technical issues again. um, well, I was talking to you. What is it that you were saying about it before we started? I forgot that I said to
Uh,
save
I
it.
was I was talking about how they don't have a release date for the PC version of the game, and they don't technically have the PC version announced.
Oh, right, right. So yeah, what I was gonna say is, I literally went to GameStop yesterday, and I had a bunch of gift cards and stuff like that, and I went ahead and pre-ordered the collector's edition because I started reading this entire week IGN, which I'm not very fond of, but they're writing some good articles. They've been getting some hands-on time with the game and everything, and man, just reading the articles like makes you want to play the game like right away. So, you know,
It's a good thing I can't read.
it's a good thing I can't read. So, I was just reading all these articles, man, and it's just an incredible game. The way they're describing it and everything, and it's kind of like reading a story about, what's happening. So anyway, my point is that I'm not patient enough right now to wait for it to come out on PC or Xbox One or any of that, so I went ahead and pre-ordered the collector's edition yesterday. I fully paid it off, and I'm ready for it. So, shameless plug time. For those of you that will be around on Twitch TV on the All Random Gaming channel on September 17th, I'll be doing a live unboxing of the collector's edition, and then I'll be playing it as much as I can for like the rest of the century.
And for those that don't really care about that, we'll at least get to see his big eyebrows.
Yeah, sure, I guess. All right, so oh wait, I forgot to time mark when we started.
Oh,
Slacking,
great.
slacking. Okay, let's just move on because this the GTA Online trailer wasn't working. I don't know why it's so tiny like this. If you guys are watching the live stream, because we
Look
are
like
live
a bunch
streaming
of
again.
pictures.
This is the third episode that we live stream. Yeah, I just had the pictures up, I guess. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the good stuff. Battlefield 4. So,
Boo.
Gamescom 2013 was insane. They had like so much footage. They did 5 days of live streaming Battlefield 4. They played at least they live streamed Conquest and the new one of the new game modes called Obliteration. They were both live streamed on PC. They had the standard 64 PC setup and then the
I
two
would ju
commanders.
I would just like to point out that they did 3 days of live streaming and 2 days of live streaming pre-recorded footage.
Oh, are you sure? I was watching it every day. 5 days in a row. And I was looking for that replay thing, and then I wouldn't watch that part of it. But anyway, it was a lot of goodness. They showed off a lot of things about the game. Before we go into the actual articles that we have from the show notes, I'm starting to roll things from the top of my head here. The first thing we want to talk about is Infidel went crazy over it. Is there's hand flares in the game?
Yep. Yep.
So
There's
yeah,
tons of stuff that I said I wanted in many previous episodes of this podcast, and they are showing up in Battlefield 4, almost like I'm a developer.
yeah. And I don't know if I had told you that, but I mean, throughout that stream, the Gamescom stream, especially compared to the one that happened at E3, they were mentioning a lot that they read everything, and I started thinking that maybe they actually do. As far as I know, there's only two podcasts, including us, available on at least iTunes and some of these major places like
that
SoundCloud
are
and all
that
that.
are about Battlefield.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I think if anything they do listen to us because we do have a
I,
lot
w-
of listeners.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did listen. Obviously, they're not going to acknowledge it because then we'll be all like, "Oh, well, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should
Yeah,
do this, and you
yeah,
should
we
do
don't need
that."
that ego trip.
Yep.
But so yeah, hand flares is one of the biggest things, and from what I've seen so far, there was very little gameplay videos. I mean, you can find all of them on YouTube because I've been following the Reddit and people are posting all kinds of clips of some of these famous people from YouTube that got hands-on time with the game and recorded directly. And
I wouldn't necessarily consider flares being one of the major things. I think that's more of a side thing.
yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, it's just one small piece of equipment that you're going to be able to equip. Now, the coolest thing about it is obviously you can use it, for dark lit areas. Who knows how much of an impact as far as light wise, if you throw
Things
it.
like marking LZs
Yeah.
for helicopters if you want to get that in depth.
Yeah, people wanted to do that, but as of right now, it seems from the clips and the little bit of talk that they did about it is that you just throw it, lights up, the area. If it's dark, it depends how much of it lights up, and then apparently while you're actually holding it, or I'm not sure if you have to throw it first, but either way, it could light up your enemies. I don't know if you'll actually see them on fire, but it will kill them if they're near the flare or behind you, I guess.
Which doesn't
Oh,
necessarily make sense because if I took a road flare and stuck it to someone's neck, they'd probably just be, "Oh, this hurts." Okay, moving on.
I I think it would burn through your neck, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would hurt a bit and you'd have some damage, but uh, road flares aren't gonna kill you if you run through the mist of the fire and whatnot.
Right, which is literally how they had described it, like on Twitter and some other places, answering questions. They were like, "Oh, the flare trail can kill your enemies," which, yeah, I know in that case it's a little excessive, but hey, you know what? In the end, it's for fun purposes. So, if you
It's
could kill
it's
someone
basically
with,
it's basically like this. Hey, I'm a super soldier that can take like 4 bullets before dying, but that road flare is gonna own my face.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, let's try and get those things out of the way that we can remember. I know you came to me with the hand
Bayonets.
flares. Oh, bayonets. I actually have a big bit of information on the bayonets because I actually don't have a screenshot of all the knives that are available in the game, but there's about 10 knives, and one of them is a bayonet. And I remembered about it, and during these live streams, I was asking, I asked a few questions on Twitter, and they actually answered a couple of
I'm
them.
extremely terrified that you're gonna say it's not actually on the weapon.
Uh, that is correct.
Oh my god.
So all this excitement and everything, me and Infidel were excited that they included a bayonet. So I asked them on Twitter during the live stream, and they actually answered it, and they said, not only is it not attached to your weapon, ever, it never will be, but the knife animations, you would think it's a bigger knife or something like that, is exactly the same for it. You just pull the knife out, you stab them in the neck, or whatever other animations are in the game for it.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, the exact question that I was asking them, and then I had to do a follow up because they weren't very clear about it. Is, oh, how does the knife takedown look with the bayonet? And they're like, oh, it's just like any other one. So I was like, wait, so you don't actually like have it attached to the gun and you don't like stab them into the ground or anything? And they said no.
Oh my god.
So that's
I
a
mean,
huge
how
bummer.
difficult would it be just to have a bayonet on your weapon? I mean, a bayonet isn't a bayonet unless it's on the gun. Otherwise, it's just a knife with some
A ring on it.
clips on it so you can put it on the gun. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, now that you're mentioning that, I guess it would either be some type of gameplay technicality, or they would actually be able to do that. But as far as balancing goes, I mean, if you think about it, if someone has a bayonet and you ever try to knife them, they're surely gonna stab you before you even get close to them if they have it on the end of their gun.
Yeah, but I'm sure they could work out a way to do it like the guy's got to smash with the butt of the gun first and then stab him with the bayonet and
Right.
when the guy with the normal knife just has to go through the normal animation. There's got to be a way to make the timing correct and make no advantage to it really.
Yeah. But that was a huge bummer. And then I did remember the other question that I had asked them, but now it just escaped me. So let's go into the articles that we actually have. The first thing, this is for the console players. I know you didn't want to listen to this much, Infidel, but I really wanted to point this out because obviously Trigger Happy and Base from Hell and all these other people that play on console only need to know something like this, which is you can get Battlefield 4 on the Xbox 360 or PS3, and it will transfer your stats and all that. I'm pretty sure we covered that in the last podcast. to the next gen console version of the game. Now, the important thing here, which I noticed after we talked about it in the last episode, is that it's a one-time transfer. So you can't, assume that, I don't know. Some people often do this, like, because they do something like this with Forza Motorsport, and they'll go back to the 360 version and play the game, and then they think they could go back to Xbox One and it'll update it, and that's not going to happen. So it's a one-time transfer once you get into the next gen version of the game.
It would have been nice that if you have linked accounts, uh, such as uh, like an Origin on PC to your Xbox Live account or something, if you had linked accounts with the same name that which you with using Battlelog even today with Battlefield 3, if you've played on a console and and did your Battlelog and then went to PC and used the same Battlelog, your stats will be there saying you've played on a console and on PC, and it'll say what level you are on what and so and so on. It would have been great if they implemented a way to for everything to be mutual.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and a lot of people have brought that up many times, but they've just been constantly saying that they don't want to do that because they don't want to give people a tremendous advantage, playing on, mouse and keyboard and then going back to a console and you've leveled up that much quicker because you were playing with a mouse and keyboard. It's like the convenience advantage, I guess, that someone would have doing that. But
I don't agree with that.
yeah, you reminded me of something else though, which is this is one of the big topics going around now, post Gamescom, that a lot of people are asking if you'll be able to have multiple soldiers for a single platform. I guess different stat values or whatever. I wouldn't care for it, but that's a big thing people are talking about now. And then also completely resetting your soldier. That means rank and everything that involves that soldier. You completely reset it. And the latest thing that they've responded to that with is they've kind of hinted that they're working with doing that. So I guess we have to wait either closer to game release or if the game releases and they kind of sneak it in there. And we might be able to have multiple soldiers or just completely reset your soldier once you get bored of him, I guess.
I think that the complete reset, if it happens, will be a premium perk, just like the stats reset
Mhm.
that we have for Battlefield 3. And I don't care for like you. I don't care for having multiple uh, like soldier groups that you can level up. Like I don't see a purpose for that really.
Yeah. Now, in this next article, I had a couple of things I wanted to pull out of this Q&A that they did. The first thing is, they emphasize this a lot during the Gamescom live stream, but I know a lot of people don't even watch that or knew about it. And it's about the Levolution events in pretty much all the levels, because I'm pretty sure they've said the game's going to ship with 10 maps, and each map has some type of Levolution to it, as far as a big event like a building or a ship crashing into an island. And all those events are never going to be timed. They're always going to be triggered by players, so it's not going to be something like Caspian Border where you had to, the tower just falls randomly towards the end of the match. So it's always going to be triggered by the players whenever they want to.
Now that you've mentioned Caspian Border, I'd like to talk about something. Is the DLC? I forgot the name it had, but the DLC that's going to have the Battlefield 3 fan favorite maps.
Hmm.
Uh, they emphasized on the fact that they are going to implement Levolution to those maps.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
actually. I was just reading an article that I didn't bother saving because I was trying to clean out the 42 bookmarks that I had ready for the episode. But they did mention that even those maps, they haven't stated which maps are going to be part of that DLC, but some people have already figured out it's like back to Karkan and then Caspian Border, whatever. They're actually completely rebuilding them. So they have those aspects of Levolution in them, I guess whether it's like a small rock cliff falling or whatever they do with it.
I can guarantee at least two maps that will ship in that DLC, and that's definitely Caspian Border and Operation Metro.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, I they showed it's we know that it's gonna be Caspian Border for sure, because they showed and emphasized on the fact that Caspian Border had a little bit of evolution, and they're going to make it better.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to put too much work into implementing evolution to those Battlefield 3 maps because the whole point of it is to bring Battlefield 3 fan favorites to Battlefield 4, not bring maps that are like Battlefield 3's and put it in Battlefield 4.
Yeah, honestly, you know, it just keeps like trickling down like the things I want to talk about when you mention something. The first thing is going back to Casimir Border is if they rebuild it, for example, and they use Levolution, obviously, they can't do something with with that infamous tower and that it falls in the same direction. They at least have to make it fall onto some type of flag or whatever, so it restructures that whole area. You know what I mean? So it's actually a game-changing thing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I was gonna say, oh man, I actually forgot. But anyway, uh, oh shoot. Oh, the other thing was that they've said okay they're gonna include 10 maps and all that, but they need to include. I mean, if they're gonna do this DLC that's 4 maps only from Battlefield 3, they still need to have maps like Wake Island in Battlefield 4. I mean, that's like a traditional map that they need to have in there. Unless they make something. I don't know if Parasol Storm might be the replacement to Wake Island. I don't think it's a good replacement, but they need to have an island like that, kind of like the same layout, just to have that whole water surrounding a
Yeah.
pretty big island.
Although they haven't hinted at it, Wake Island has to be there somewhere. Wake
Yeah.
Island isn't technically a Battlefield 3 map, although it is in Battlefield 3. So I don't think it'll ship in that DLC. I think that there might be just like,
Yeah,
maybe
or
in a
unless
battle,
they include it in the vanilla maps is the only
maybe
way as of
maybe
right now.
maybe even in a battle pack, Wake Island would go.
Yeah. The other thing is, I mean, I'm remembering even there's still some maps from Battlefield 2 and the expansions that they had for that game that were amazing. Like, there's still some of the biggest maps ever in Battlefield, and going back to Battlefield 1942, I mean, you could throw in El Alamein in there still. When we were talking back for the Battlefield 3 DLC that they made Bandar Desert and all that, I mean, they still have to have huge scale maps like that and desert type scenarios, but I'm confident they'll remember to include all those different environments, I guess.
I'm very curious to know if uh, DLC maps for Battlefield 3 are may, may, might go in that DLC, or if it has to be maps that the game shipped out with.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I'm curious to know that in the DLC for Battlefield 4 that has the Battlefield 3 fan favorites, does
Right.
that count DLCs as an option, or is that just the maps that the game went out with?
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, those are other things, that are more technical. I don't know if that's which one's the case in that issue. Um, okay, so let's try to move on because there's still so much more Battlefield stuff that I want to go into and everything. One of the things that was kind of revealed through the Gamescom event also, and it was asked in this article, is there's still mortars in the game, and the support class still uses them, but they're actually remote controlled now. So the way it works,
Stupid.
yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. So the way it works is more like if you play Battlefield 3 right now and use the Soul Flame on the Recon class, it's kind of the same thing. You literally put it down, and the remote almost looks identical to it. At least right now, in the alpha version, whatever that they've been showing off, and you literally place it down, and you can walk away, and then you pull up that remote control device, and you'll be able to shoot the mortar from there.
No. No, I'm disowning Battlefield now.
All right. Next thing is we got an article that was posted. This was a little bit before Gamescom, which is each of the 4 classes, the soldiers, whatever you want to call it, of Chinese, Russian, and U.S. Armies. And I've seen a lot of people. They're not really too happy with what they did with the character models because they kind of do look identical from Battlefield 3. I mean, I don't know if they're accurate to real life or if they have extra gear on them or less gear.
Well, luckily you have military expert infidel here.
Yeah.
So if you want to increase a picture of the American
Okay.
skins,
Okay.
I
We can...
can definitely tell you things about that.
All right. I have it full screen there.
Okay, well, there's stream delay.
Oh well. You
Yeah,
could just continue,
I
I
know,
guess, or
I know,
look at the
I know.
picture yourself.
Okay. Okay, I'm looking at the pictures here. First off, I can tell some differences immediately, just to prove people wrong from Battlefield 3, is
Okay.
that these are it looks like they were going for more special forces looking skins this time. Last time they were supposed to be standard Marine Corps infantry.
Right.
Uh, by the camouflage, which is multicam camouflage, they're like Army or Navy special forces, which kind of makes up for the fact that they're super soldiers and whatnot.
Uh huh.
And it also gives them a chance to give them pretty much whatever gear that they want. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty accurate. They're definitely going for the future, the near future U.S. military kind of look here. Other than the fact that they wouldn't be standing around in like boonie hats and stuff.
Yeah. Now, you're reminding me. First of all, we'll go into all the customization that's going to be available in the game. But seeing that already, I've realized they don't allow you to customize your soldier very much, besides the camo still. So it is what your player is going to look like constantly, at least for now, because we've seen in Battlefield 3 DLC that they've changed the look of the soldiers depending on what type of game mode and map you're playing, such as like Endgame and that other one that had like the scavenger mode and all that. But I'm also looking at these soldiers, and I'm not a military expert like you, Infidel, but it is pretty impressive some of the detail they put in. Like I'm actually looking at the support and recon class, and they have I mean, I don't know if there's a technical name for it, but they have their boots up to their knees, kind of like covered in these black
Yeah.
cover type things, and I'm assuming that's for the bushes. Whenever they're trekking through like heavy forest or whatever. So that's pretty
Well,
cool that they added that there.
I can tell you that during World War II, if you look at like pictures and stuff, you'll see they have something similar to that on their boots, and that was because when they were invading by sea, like amphibious invasion, uh, that would help with keep the water, the heavy water, sand stuff, mixture, mud, things like that out of your boots.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of shows that the recon and the support class are more made for like the harder terrain.
Yeah, I mean, I now that I'm really looking at this, I don't agree with people at all. I kind of wasn't paying attention to it anyway, but all these people saying that they don't like the character models, they actually are pretty impressive. The other thing I wanted to point out is the support class over here on the left of the screen. He has I don't know if they also have like a technical name, but he has kind of like those test lab vials in front of his pack there.
Those are
And
chem lights.
oh, okay, chem lights. So my
They're basically
wallpaper
glow
right now on
sticks.
one of my monitors is an in-game picture of this guy, and he does look just like that in game. I mean, these are character models directly from the game, and they have those details in there. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, those are chem lights. They're basically glow sticks.
Whatever. I've never seen a glow stick look like that. They're more like cylindrical. Those look like freaking, I don't know, meth lab containers.
If you break
Now,
a chem light and get it on your skin, you're screwed.
oh really? I never knew that.
They hurt a lot.
Well, I'm assuming like the ones you buy in Party City and stuff aren't necessarily toxic, right?
Doubt it.
Doubt it. Oh
They're
man,
they're also expensive.
you're giving me ideas now. I'm gonna like open one of them. Okay, so in this same article, I wanted to talk about, we have a lot more details now on this feature, which is the field upgrades. Have you seen that? Like, what do you finally think about it?
I mean, I never got into like getting everyone in my squad to have the perfect perks and all that in game, so it's not really that big of a deal to me.
Yeah,
I didn't think it made too much of an impact. Besides, like you have a little bit extra ammo and you can toss 2 grenades instead of 1, all that stuff.
right.
It never made too much of an impact.
I mean, there's so much to talk about this new system though, which is, those things you just commented on is kind of like why they switched to this type of system. Because first of all, a lot of people don't know it, but this field upgrade system is actually per player. So, you're all progressing through the what they've nicknamed already the bro bar.
The
At the same
bro bar.
yeah, at the same time, obviously, because you're all in the same 5-man squad. But each of the 4 levels that you could reach, the 4 perks or whatever you want to call them, is for you only, and you set that up yourself. So, the biggest thing to take out of this is there's only 7 squad specializations in Battlefield 3, and they went from that number to over 25 in Battlefield 4. So you have all kinds of things like extra grenades, extra ammo packs, quick unspot. You have stealth. It's just incredible, like all the things they added with that field upgrade system. So I thought that
I
was pretty
forgot.
awesome.
I forgot that squads were 5 guys now. But I got
Yeah,
a bone to pick with that that no one else will care about.
which is
Uh, that's about a fire team size.
which is what I mean. It's not a squad anymore, is what you mean?
Like, uh, 4 or 5 guys is a fire team size in military
Okay.
terms, and a squad is about double that, about 10 guys.
Oh, but you've
So,
mentioned that before. I mean, back when we played Battlefield 3 together, at least, you would say like right away, yeah, this isn't a squad, by the way, and you would tell
yeah,
me that. Yeah, I don't know why they call it that. I mean, a fire team would honestly be cooler.
because no one understands what a fire team is.
Yeah, I guess it's just yeah, and for simplicity of actually saying the word, I guess they just stick with squad. I mean, it's always been squad actually, from the beginning, but whatever.
Yeah, I blame Dice.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I didn't know because I asked you before the podcast started that you didn't even have the Xbox One pre-order. So I was gonna go through this list of 22 plus games that are already part of the Xbox One lineup.
Anyone can
Um,
just read that, so don't touch too much on how many
yeah,
unlocked games.
but I just want to say like I'm not very impressed, and honestly right now I'm just gonna get Battlefield 4 and Forza
Halo.
5. Yeah, no, I don't even
What
think I'm gonna buy Halo right now.
whatever that Halo game is.
Yeah, Halo Xbox One is what they've been calling it.
I'm
If,
gonna call it Halo Homeless Evolved.
no, they really can't call it that. That's so like such a bad name.
Homeless Evolved. Because he's got the
Yeah, in the
turtle coat.
trailer.
Yeah.
Honestly, that fooled me. I thought it was like I did think it was like some homeless like I don't know, stranded in the desert type game.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Halo Tomb Raider edition.
I forgot Minecraft is gonna have an Xbox One edition, so obviously I'll get into that. Yeah, and
Gonna
honestly,
be
I'm
as good
not.
as PC.
Yeah, at least for this year right now, I just plan to get Battlefield 4 and Forza 5 for Xbox One. I mean, everything else is coming out next year, and by that I mean, for sure buys right now are just Titanfall and Destiny. There's nothing really impressive to me. But anyway, all right, so let's go into the. Did you see the Paracel Storm trailer, Infidel?
Yes, I did.
All right,
Hundreds of times.
all right. Well, I'm gonna have that playing if you want to give some type of commentary or anything you noticed from it.
Well, unfortunately, there's a stream delay, so I'll be like, well,
Oh,
that
jeez.
rating screen is on right now.
Yeah.
We can just watch it and touch on it after.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the sound running on it, so I mean, while I'm watching it, at least I could comment on it.
Turn around
No, don't
every
do that.
now and
Don't do that. No, I do have things to say about it though. So, like I was saying, it seems to me, especially since this is a map they showed off, excessively on during Gamescom, which was practically an entire week.
I
Uh,
think this is probably going to be the Caspian border of Battlefield 4.
oh, you think so? I was gonna, reiterate that I think this
Actually,
is this
I
is the
think it's the
replacement for
Karg
Wake
Island.
Island
I think it's the Karg Island
of Battlefield 4.
of Battlefield 4, and the thing with the towers though is the Caspian border.
Yeah. So as we're watching this video, I mean, the assault bolts and all that is just great. I mean, I've seen the live stream gameplay and all that, and those assault bolts, the way they've been describing it is they're tanks on water, which is awesome. I mean, they're so powerful, but at the same time they're pretty easy to take out, so it's not going to be something that's OP or anything like that. But of course they're probably going to balance it anyway before the game comes out. The other thing we noticed from the trailer, which was also very rare in the gameplay videos, is the battle pickups, which in this case on Parasol Storm, from what I've seen, there's a um, not a spaz, it's the USAS shotgun with frag rounds, and what battle pickups are is they're scattered around the map. There's usually only about two or three in Parasol Storm at least.
Like the Bear 50 cal.
Right. The other one is a Bear 50 cal, which is on top of a tower in the map, and then those battle pickups. I was actually reading another article that stated a bunch of information about them that was official. So once you pick up these guns, if you die, it will not be dropped, and you also cannot replenish the ammo on it. So once you pick it up, you either shoot it or you die, and that's it. And then on top of that, it's never gonna respawn for the rest of that round.
So basically, if some new guy gets on, hey, look, there's a gun on the ground, you're screwed if he picks it up and dies.
Right, pretty much. So, that adds another level of, like you just exemplified, communication. Make sure the proper person picks it up. Obviously, someone that's good at sniping or is going into a close quarters building if they pick up the USAS, and that they use it well before either they die or they run out of ammo, I guess. But I think that's super cool that they did that. It adds a whole nother level to each of the maps. A lot more focus to, obviously people are going to be going after those guns, so you're going to have like more firefights around those guns and people trying to grab it. And I thought it was super cool that they're doing that.
I would just like to point out a top comment on the video.
The top comment.
Rest in peace, Call of Duty. Ghost.
Yeah, on that note, okay, so first of all, at the end of this Parasol Storm trailer, they give the first peek of what could be assumed is the 4 maps of the China Rising DLC, and then here at the end, they actually show a bomber, which is the same bomber that we've tried to analyze before when they first released the picture of the China Rising expansion pack. Now, do you know what type of airplane that is, Infidel?
I know it's not American,
Yeah.
for one, and I believe it's the Chinese version of. Well, it looks like it would be the Chinese equivalent to the B-52, which, if you guys don't know, is a gigantic bomber that has such a large wingspan that it actually has to have supports on either wing for when it's on the deck and like taxiing and stuff.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the actual name of it is the Su-52 or 28, something like that, or is that not it?
No idea. I mean, I don't know the actual aircraft itself. I just
Right.
know what it's pretty much equivalent to. Um, what I can speculate about what it'll be in game
Right.
is some kind of a commander's tool
Yeah.
that is for the Chinese. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Americans and such had
The
different
equivalent.
versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Americans would have a B-52. But what I'm expecting is American commanders can put up a C-130, an AC-130 rather, and the Chinese can do a bombing run.
Okay, yeah, that would be a good balance as well, of course. Now I rewinded here in the video because from the first time I saw this clip at the end of the Parasol Storm trailer, and the plane flies over, all you see is the shadow. Now I paused it here on the video in the live stream because on top of that, you also see these, what I'm assuming are craters from actual bombs on the map already. So I don't know if they're trying to show that this exact airplane will be able to do carpet bombs like that on a specific area of the map, or if that's a Levolution feature maybe. So
I
yeah,
think those craters are just from other things in game, or they're part of the map, and the only thing they're trying to emphasize in that picture is in that shot is the shadow of the aircraft.
okay, yeah. So I thought it would be either or. I thought maybe they were trying to hint something, but whatever. Okay, so we are talking about one of the premium DLCs, which is that first one, which is going to be the China Rising, and they did announce the rest of the premium battle packs. I mean, DLC, and then all the other bonuses you'll get for being a premium
Before we
member.
move on, I want to touch on something about the Parasol Storm trailer. Is
Okay.
that for me, my Battlefield experience is going to be forever ruined due to the fact that I know about the real military.
Okay.
Because I look at everything and I think that's so wrong. There's nothing. This is stupid. This wouldn't be done. So
Now let's not go into every single thing, but what's the biggest thing that you're referring to that messes it up for you?
there's not really like big things. It's all small things that just get to me, like the ship going into the ground. That wouldn't happen. That simply would not happen.
Why not though?
If there would be a crew on it to begin with, and it wouldn't be running ashore. It would be. It wouldn't have made it that far, and I don't know. It's a bunch of small things,
Yeah,
and
those are.
it's
I mean, I think it's awesome that whether you got to remember they were also saying that a lot on the live stream. People are starting to turn this game into a Arma type of thing. I'm not referring to you at all, obviously. Um,
I
but
guess if
yeah,
I
at the
want it
same
to be
time, they're
realistic.
saying they're saying they want a little bit of realism, but they don't want people to play it and quit after 5 minutes because they don't know how to reload a gun or the gun jams and they gotta fix things like that. Like they don't want to have things like that either.
Yeah, I completely understand why it's not so realistic, but there's just those little things that bug me. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because even in Battlefield 3, there's some things that bother me, or it's like the gun doesn't shoot the way it does in real life, and at this point, that's just because of balance issues most of the time. But anyway, so Battlefield 4 Premium membership, it costs $40, I'm pretty sure, or 50. I'm not sure. I don't know why I don't
Probably
know the
50.
price.
Probably about the same price as Battlefield 3.
Yeah. So for Battlefield 4, it includes 5 digital expansions. First one is Second Assault, which is well, that's not necessarily the first one. That's actually like the second one, the second DLC, which is the fan favorite Battlefield 3 maps, which we already talked about. There is a trailer for those, and some people have noticed that it seems to be Back to Kargan, Caspian Border, Operation Metro, and I think the last one is Grand Bazaar, if I'm not mistaken.
Why that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Of all things, I mean, I've never played it.
Yeah, I'll play the trailer here in a second. It's in one of these other articles. So then the other DLC is China Rising, which we were just talking about. That's the one that they show. What's presumed to be the 4 maps at the end of the Parasol Storm trailer. You have Naval Strike, Dragon's Teeth, and then Final Stand, which that one will release in the summer of 2014.
Did you say one is called Dragon's Teeth?
Yes. They all have little descriptions and stuff. So the Dragon's Teeth one says the U.S. strikes back, engaging in all-out urban warfare against the Chinese. I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure that's supposed to say, and then it's available in the summer as well of next year.
I was thinking that might be a little clever name for something that might have like a bunch of fortifications that you have to have an engineer destroy and whatnot.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting. I think the order on this announcement of premium is in the correct order because Second Assault doesn't have a release date, but it says it's available first on Xbox One, and then China Rising says it comes out in December. So maybe the Second Assault is gonna be the first DLC to release.
It might. There's no release date, right?
No,
It might be the same style as Back to Karkand. That it's like a release day DLC for limited edition.
right. Like if they switch it around, because initially it was China Rising, and that's probably it. And retailers haven't changed it on their actual game information pages. But that might be it. That would make sense also. So what else? Since we're talking about premium, you of course get unique personalization options, including camos, paints, emblems, dog tags, and more. Priority position in server queues again. You get new content every week. Hopefully, it's a lot more than what they did in Battlefield 3. Honestly, you get 12 bonus battle packs right away when you purchase premium, and then of course, this is another thing they're doing as far as the whole next gen thing is if you purchase premium on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, that will also transfer to Xbox One and PlayStation 4, so you don't have to pay for it twice. So that's a pretty great thing that they're doing. I was initially gonna get Battlefield 4 on 360, just to play it until release on Xbox One, but I decided not to. And
I have a question. I haven't really been keeping up with battle packs and stuff. So, What's confirmed that's gonna be in those?
Okay, so a battle pack, what it is first of all, for anyone that's played Mass Effect, battle packs do exist in that game. I've never played Mass Effect myself to experience it, but from what I've seen or heard, um, in Mass Effect, those battle packs are actually packs that you have to pay for, and they'll unlock, extra things in the game. That is not the case with Battlefield 4 so far. If anything, you'll be able to unlock them naturally, as you play the game. I don't know if it'll depend by rank or just skill or challenges, whatever they do it with in the game. And they're gonna include either camos, attachments. I mean, what else is there? I don't know if it'll include it. It will actually include some of the knives in those battle packs. And then I don't know if one battle pack will only have one item or it'll have multiple things in it, but that's pretty much what it is. And then
No 1911.
yeah, I was reading the chat as well. We'll
Yeah,
take a look
you're
at that.
right.
The next video we're gonna take a look at is a pretty lengthy one, and it shows all the weapons and everything that was in the Gamescom build, which just reminded me. The other question I had asked during the live stream, which was something that was really surprising me, I guess, is if you watch any of the videos from the live stream of Gamescom, they had a lot of weapons, a lot of camos, all a bunch of attachments, and it seemed, just the amount of content that they were showing there already, that's everything that's going to be in the game. So I asked them that, and then from there, it's actually been trickling all over the internet. That they responded to my tweet on the live stream, and they said it is not the final list of weapons and other things that are going to be in the game. So hopefully they do add a lot more weapons.
I'd
So,
be extremely surprised if the 1911 didn't get in there somewhere.
yeah, no, they need to have that in there because me especially. That's the handgun I use. So if they
It,
don't have that
it's
in there, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, and in real life, it's such an iconic weapon. It's like
Yeah,
pretty much the first semi-auto handgun.
yeah, it's definitely iconic. I mean that's something. Not just because it's Battlefield, but just because it's a military shooter. That weapon needs to
And
be in there.
it is, and that weapon is over 100 years old now, and the U.S. military is just placed in a large order, and they may be switching back to that as their primary weapon from the M9 Beretta.
I did hear about that actually. Yeah, I saw that. I don't remember where I even saw it, but I heard about
which
that.
which isn't surprising because the M9 Beretta sucks.
Yeah,
It jams a lot and all that.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so we were just talking about, for console players, the whole next gen transfer thing, the one time transfer and all that. So I wanted to let everyone know that so far Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, they're all doing this trade out program for the actual copies of the games, such as Battlefield 4. I mean, Call of Duty Ghosts is included in this. There's a whole list of games. Each retailer has their own list. And basically, if you buy the current gen version of that game, on top of all the other digital things, hopefully transferring to the next gen version when you buy it, you will also be able to purchase the next gen version of the game for only $10 if you trade in the current gen version to whatever place you want to. Now, the nice thing about using Amazon for this is Amazon doesn't require you to buy the game from them. So you could buy it anywhere else and then trade it into Amazon anyway when you want to, and you'll upgrade to the next gen version of the game for only $10. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's kind of the reason why I was thinking about getting Battlefield 4 on 360 and then paying the extra $10 for the Xbox One version, but I'm not gonna bother doing that. I'll just play it on PC.
Yep.
Okay, so now, oh man, 7 minute video. This is the video we've been talking about. It shows every class, every weapon, every unlock that was available in Gamescom 2013. So, we have some new weapons, AK-12. We have Scar H. That's a gun that's been there. The AEK returns. We got the FAMAS. Of course, the other thing is the DLC packs are obviously going to include more weapons, at least hopefully. So,
Most likely.
yeah, if anything, if you don't see an attachment or a weapon here or anything, expect it to be in the DLC if they do it properly. Hint, hint. Dice, are you listening? But we'll see here. I guess I could fast forward through this because we really are not going to sit here. I mean, this video goes into each and every class. We have the shotguns, all the scopes. Some things to notice: the optics. Well, first of all, when you're picking your primary weapon in Battlefield 4, you're gonna have at least 4 categories. I don't know if it's 4 for all the classes. And then, for example, with the assault class, you have assault rifle, carbine, DMR, and shotgun categories for each weapon that you can equip. And then moving on from there, you have optics, and then, for example, in the assault class, you have close range or medium range. So it's all categorized for you, kind of like little tabs. They do have more accessory slots. You could attach more accessories to your guns in Battlefield 4. Let me see. I'm trying to skip through here to see all the gadgets, of course.
To the ringing phone.
And then,
Alex is a very busy person.
hopefully that doesn't. Just ignore the phone ringing in the background, guys. Whatever. I'm not gonna mute myself right now. And then, so of course we have the engineer with the PDW, carbine, DMR, shotgun, etc. Jesus Christ. Hold on, let me see if I can find here the handguns. I don't think this video actually went into the handguns, but I did see it in other videos that are available. Yeah, it's not in this video. That's a shame. There's also a ton of new gadgets, but I mean, it's just so much stuff to go into. Oh, here we go. Here we have the handguns. So we have the P226, we have the M9. Yeah, there's definitely no 1911. What is it? They have the shorty 12 gauge, which I'm assuming that's like the, what's it called, the Judge in real life. We have the Glock 18, FN57. Yeah, no. They have a compact.
Go
What's
ahead.
that? Oh, they have a compact 45, which I don't know if that's supposed to be their, or maybe that's a placeholder for the 1911, since it is a 45 caliber handgun.
Well, it's the same round. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still not a 1911.
I notice a lot.
The M9 has the same round as the Glock.
Yeah, I know. But I'm
That's
just saying that's the one thing I noticed. Maybe that is a placeholder for it. If anything, I noticed a lot of the, at least in the class customization, a lot of the icons next to the actual names of the pictures weren't like accurate to the gun. So I don't think it's even finalized. Oh look, coincidentally this guy has a bayonet equipped, but bummer. It's not gonna actually be attached to his gun.
Can I at least have a bayonet equipped to my Glock?
I guess, sure. Like they also have a new 40 times scope, which is something that I was just reading an article that released today on the Battlefield website, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the new sites is the Tri Laser, and I just wanted to save this page to show it to you guys because it shows the actual laser, which is the 3 red dots, and then I guess it's a reference to Predator. So this guy put together this whole thing, and then I didn't know this laser actually existed in real life. So that's the real life version of the Tri Laser, which yeah, I guess it is useful for shotguns. It just gives you that larger area. Instead of one single dot, you have 3 dots pointing at your enemy, and you just fire away.
Using lasers as an actual like for aiming sight is kind of stupid.
What are you talking about? Predator uses it.
Well, then that's okay. Never mind.
Yeah. Don't you want to be a bad A like him? Alright, so other small things, people have noticed. I've just pulled these things like from Reddit and other places, I don't know, like the battle log forums and all that, is now when someone kills you, it's also going to say how much health, so to speak, their vehicle has.
Finally, jeez.
So yeah, in the kill cam you'll see something like this. It'll say vehicle condition, and obviously it's a number out of 100. And,
yeah, because honestly, I don't care what the health of the guy inside the vehicle is.
Right? Yeah, that
vehicle's health.
never made absolute sense at all. It's like, oh man, that guy killed me in a tank. Oh look, he only has 20 health. So if I would have somehow managed to get into the tank, I would have been able to kill him easier.
That guy's got 100% health. I thought my bullets went through the
Yeah.
10-inch thick armor.
Right. Yeah, it was completely irrelevant. I don't know if it'll still actually show his health, because this is actually, In the kill cam now, if they're in a vehicle, on the left side it's going to show the vehicle information, and then on the right it still shows the player information. I think it shows a lot less information for the player in that aspect, but I don't know if it'll still show his health. That's something I don't really.
It should show his health for things like boats or jeeps where you can shoot
Yeah,
the
for
player
sure.
as
Yeah,
well as the vehicle.
yeah,
But in a tank, no.
yeah. And then we have these next two. This clip is from one of the gameplay. Well, not gameplay. It's from one of the trailers of Battlefield 4. I didn't even notice, but this guy noticed that in the trailer they're using the peek over system. Let me see if I can zoom this in a bit. It's probably going to lose a little bit of quality, but you could see that they're hiding behind this security counter. And
But
it,
depending on what site they look down, they can see around it.
well, no, I'll actually, the next GIF is going to show us how it all works, actually. But this just shows the guy, it's actually GIF. So
It's
yeah,
GIF.
it's GIF.
It's GIF.
The guy that invented it recently said that that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, just like the peanut butter.
Nah, it's GIF.
Okay, you could call it a GIF.
It sounds better.
I hate you. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Anyway,
does. I don't want to think of peanut butter every time I watch something like that.
whatever, I still hate you. So he already has the canted iron sight ready, so to speak, and all you do is you press, for example, on the Xbox, it's the RB button, and that'll let you peek over, and then from there you just shoot. It's kind of like how Medal of Honor did it, actually. So I guess they got it from that. And here in this next GIF,
Well, it's a good thing they got something good out of the not so recently abandoned game.
yeah, yeah, Medal of Honor is completely dead officially. So here in this next GIF, we can see that the guys, this is actual gameplay from Gamescom that someone recorded, and he's crouched down behind the cover, and you have this little pop-up that says, for example, on the Xbox, it says RB, and then it'll say peek over. So at that point, you obviously just press it, it'll peek over for you, and you fire away. That's how it works. Ta-da! Magic. Okay, so another, for some reason, people think it's really cool. I don't really care for it. That they're doing in Battlefield 4 is if you spawn in certain vehicles, such as an airplane or a helicopter, especially, you'll obviously be dressed as a pilot. And if you jump out of that vehicle and obviously stay alive, as you can see in this image, you will remain in your pilot suit. So I don't know if that's a cool thing. It kind of also makes you a huge target because this guy's wearing like a pilot suit and it's like all in completely white. So it's not really very adaptive to your surroundings.
I kind of got mixed feelings about this. It it's cool and it makes sense, but for those people that hop in and hop out of vehicles all the time, I mean, I guess it's kind of an incentive for people to focus on flying or focus on infantry, not switch between the two all the time.
Yeah, as soon as you, um, it only happens if you spawn in the vehicle, like I said. And then the other thing I was kind of studying about right now, which I was gonna mention also, is as far as the vehicle camos, um, they didn't really describe it completely, but if you spawn in a vehicle as well, obviously it's gonna take your camo and everything. Not you know, your attachments will be there, but if you get out of it, that vehicle is gonna stay in that camo. If someone else gets in it, it's not gonna switch. Now, the other thing they didn't detail on that is like, okay, let's say you spawn in your base and no one has gotten into a vehicle and you get into it on foot first. If it'll change to that camo and do the same thing, that it won't change if you get out and someone else gets in. So that's kind of pretty cool. So I guess you could notice if someone steals your vehicle, you know, you get out of it and someone will take it and you'll be like, hey, that's my vehicle with the blue camo. Yeah.
Or it's like one of 500 other people that have the same camo.
um, the other another small thing is scope glint will only appear when you're actually zoomed in with your weapon. I'm actually very happy about this.
I thought that was already like that.
No, not in Battlefield 3 at all.
Oh.
In
Well,
Battlefield 3, you could be proned out and visually, you know, the soldier will be like laying on top of his rifle or whatever horizontally against his chest or whatever position, or he could even be on a bipod not zoomed in, and it'll be causing glint that entire time. So that was one of the big things that people wanted for Battlefield 4, and they actually implemented it. So unless you're zoomed in, and I guess actually targeting someone about to shoot them, they won't see the scope glint.
cool.
Uh,
I guess it doesn't matter to me. I don't use sniper rifles.
Yeah, so here we go. This is one of the awesome things I wanted to to talk about all the camos. So
Oh god.
just like you have categories for guns and everything, you have 8 different categories for camos. So you have miscellaneous, adaptive, autumn, desert, naval, snow, urban, and woodland. Now, whatever if you're watching the live stream, you'll see me clicking through all these. Obviously, all the categories are self-explanatory. The coolest one is the adaptive category. Now, what this is it's all the other 6 categories of camos. Autumn, desert, whatever, but they're
I guess
adaptive.
they changed to what environment
Yes,
you're in.
exactly, which is really cool. I mean, it's convenient too. Um, So
Because
if you equip an adaptive camo, you necessarily don't have to worry each time you play on a different map. It'll automatically change to more blue tints if you're in a naval map, or if you're in a desert, it'll change to tan and browns and stuff like that. So that's really cool that they did that. And then obviously the miscellaneous category is just like the crazy camos. You have crimson woodland, you have duckweed, you have TTSKO blue, which I don't know what that references to. You have atomic adaptive actually is thrown in there. Just a lot of cool ones. Crimson
yeah,
Tiger is one of the ones that everyone was using in the live stream.
yeah, yeah, I like the Crimson Lance.
Isn't that a video game?
that's a that's people in Borderlands too, or Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Well,
sure
I
if
was
they're in two or
close.
not.
I said it was a video game, so whatever. Okay, so I don't know if you well, I doubt you even stumbled upon this, but now there's 2 different types of smoke deployments, I guess, for the vehicles, or countermeasures rather. So you have Ire Smoke, which is the one that's been in Battlefield 3,
Which breaks missile locks,
right? And then you have Smoke Screen now, which
which is just visual.
yeah, well, it's more like it's a lot more visual, yes, I guess you could call it, or no, it obviously affects whatever's trying to lock onto you. So it'll be a lot thicker and a lot more area of smoke. And what it does, as the descriptions say here, is the smoke screen will block any incoming locks or things that are already. It won't break things rather that are already traveling towards you.
It'll only break the locks themselves.
Yeah, like this is the reason I wanted to show this is because it's a little confusing and people are actually trying to decipher this on Reddit. But I mean, I think the description is pretty self-explanatory. I think they even changed because in Battlefield 3, the RR smoke works more like the smoke screen. Because it's like a big cloud of smoke. But I'm pretty sure I've seen in gameplay videos that the RR smoke now is just like little shots, little puffs of smoke that come out. Like for example on the Abrams, and that'll break the lock-ons and incoming missiles.
Yeah, I would explain how IR smoke works, but no one cares about that.
Too technical.
Yeah.
So see, this is why I like Arma, because in Arma, right? Is that how it's gonna start?
No. Wait, do you want me to?
No, please don't. I mean, you'll probably make my brain explode. Um, oh my god, we still have so many things to cover. So, there's another small thing. If you're jumping off of like second story areas, um, your character will actually stumble now in Battlefield 4. So that's what this little GIF here is. It's a little clip right here. I'm just gonna rub that in.
Bend your legs so you don't break them.
Yeah.
Bend
Okay,
your
so
knees. Yeah, bend your leg. Just take your leg and bend it.
the other way, right?
Yeah.
To absorb the impact.
Yeah, like deer style.
Because you
Reverse
can't
deer
break your
down.
leg if you're already trying to break it. It's like that's not
It's
possible.
like it's fighting fire with fire.
Yeah. If
Like
you're already on fire, you're not gonna catch fire.
yeah. If you're already on fire, it's not like throwing gas on you'll hurt anything.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be immune to fire at that point.
Make sure you break your legs before you jump. That way you can't break your legs when you hit.
Yeah. Oh, God, Jesus. Okay, so we'll blow through this one real quick. There's just Dice keeps being asked by probably
Hey, look, Grand Theft Auto 5.
PC fanboys that the PC is gonna look much better than PS4 and Xbox One and whatever. That's where to get it, and they've been emphasizing it's identical right now. Um, both platform or all three platforms rather are gonna have the same frames per second and all the technical things and features. But of course, they admit, which is why a lot of people play PC, is you could always constantly upgrade it. So of course, if you buy Battlefield 4 and the day after you buy like 4 video cards, of course your game's gonna look incredible and run super smooth. But as far as features and all that, all three platforms are the same. So there's no console war uh, nonsense to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I won't be running it on highest.
All right. So we actually already talked about battle pickups, which was what this article was for.
Okay, moving on.
Did you know that battle recorder existed at any point, Infidel?
Battle recorder. It sounds like something that the government uses on cell phones.
Jesus. No, that is incorrect, but nice try. It's actually, we have the spectator mode, which is looking pretty awesome for Battlefield 4, and
Spectating.
people are asking for the battle recorder feature. And the latest thing they've said is that it's not going to be available at launch, but they definitely want to implement it because they know there's a lot of people that want to record awesome movies.
Not worth it. Everyone that doesn't want to invest money into a capture card just has suckish content, so it's not worth it.
But you don't need a capture card for PC stuff. I'm assuming this would only be available on PC anyway, if they implement it.
But just use like Fraps or something.
Infidel, you're so negative.
I am negative. Play Arma.
Hey, Arma. Oh wait, didn't you want to go to your Arma stuff?
Well, I have some Arma 3 things to talk about, and I've got some 7 Days to Die things to talk about. I mean Zombie Craft to talk about.
Okay, wait, why are you calling it Zombie Craft?
Because it's basically what it is. It's pretty much a mix between DayZ and Minecraft. Are we watching something, or is this just running while I'm supposed to be talking?
Well, yeah, I figured you were gonna talk nonsense, so I'm running the
Okay.
premium trailer.
You gotta make something interesting.
No, we're skipping through it because this isn't interesting. Actually, we already covered all the premium stuff. Okay, so
Okay,
commander mode, yada yada. Okay, I wanted to talk about commander mode real quick.
Oh god. I thought we were moving on to my stuff.
No.
I thought we were moving on to Infidel's world.
No, so listen, the commander mode, it's this awesome thing, right? So no,
It's a
it's a GIF. So anyway, the commander has what they're calling 2 different loops of
GIF.
of assets available to them. Assets. So you have the main assets, which includes the cruise missile. You have 2 types of map scans, and then finally the AC-130. These are the ones that, depending on the map and game mode, is what you literally have to fight for, or tell your squads rather, to fight for, so you could unlock them. And then you have a squad loop, which you could actually promote a squad to their next field upgrade, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of like a reward for them, or incentive, I guess. You can have vehicle drops, rapid deploys, which is you reduce the squad spawn timer in half for a fixed period of time. And then you have supply drops, which will heal, resupply, and repair friendly units, including vehicles, I'm pretty sure. And then it'll allow them to change kits with that supply drop.
So, there's a lot of airstrike kind of stuff with the commander mode, right? Like cruise missiles and C-130, AC-130s and stuff, right?
C.
So, why haven't we seen anything about the Syria map yet?
Oh Christ! You're gonna go there?
Yeah, I want to go there. Let me make this perfectly clear, Alec.
We're not talking politics on this podcast. That's why we play Battlefield and military games.
we don't need Obama to be perfectly clear to play.
Especially so we could just download it on PC and hopefully have mods like in Arma 2 and skin the characters as whoever we want and just shoot them if we want to. Okay, this is going downhill. Let's move on.
Wait, Alec, I'd just like to point out that we are feeding information to base, and it turns out he already readed this.
Readed this. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, this is the last Battlefield 4 thing. Yeah. This is actually one of the biggest things. which is I probably said that already before. Anyway, there's two different flight ceilings in Battlefield 4 for jets and helicopters. What does that mean, Alec? Cause I don't
Oh, that means
understand all this technical stuff.
that
What's a
means the jets can go higher than the helicopter.
yeah, that's
Makes
awesome.
sense. Like normal life. I
Because
mean,
in Battlefield 3, it's so annoying. There's a helicopter like flying higher than the jet most of the time, actually, because it could just sit there. So you're like flying around, and you gotta get to that altitude again, and by that time the helicopter has already destroyed you.
welcome to Space Shuttle H1 Cobra.
Right? It might as well be. You might as well be wearing like a spacesuit when you jump in it.
Yeah.
Forget the
That's why
pilot suit. You
gotta
jump
get
out of that
the
helicopter, and you're gonna have like zero gravity anyway.
So the commander is gonna have an option for friendlies to insert from that like Red Bull sponsored space pod where you jump out and free fall.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. So yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest things that they've announced lately, which is really awesome because I don't know, it helps a lot. It's really cool that they're we've never talked about that because I guess we've never had bad experience with that. You know, with me flying the chopper and I guess getting destroyed by airplanes, but whatever. Cause I'm a pro pilot.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so
I mean, give.
I got you. Okay, so now to Xbox One.
Oh no.
If you buy a season pass on Xbox 360 and it's for a specific game, aka Battlefield or Call of Duty, and then you play the game on the Xbox One, that will also transfer over, so you don't have to pay for a season pass a second time. Isn't that awesome? Everything's gonna transfer over except your dignity. What? Um,
What?
Next thing is Xbox One UI. I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people, among all the other dumb reasons that they're saying that they're not gonna get an Xbox One, they say that it's filled with ads, just like Xbox 360. And these are the actual UI screenshots, which are similar to the ones when the Xbox One was first announced and we were trying to analyze it. This is actually what it's gonna look like. So it's very basic. I mean, most people would probably say it's plain from the get-go, but it's very convenient. If you have Windows 8, it's very similar to it. I have a Windows phone, and I enjoy the whole Metro thing. Stop making noise, infidel. And then, uh, the reason I wanted to look at this is because look at the size of the notifications. Like, I don't know if the notifications ever bothered you when you played Xbox 360, but they really bother me a lot because they're just
Notifications.
gigantic. And then I don't know.
Well, I don't have friends, so you know
Oh,
how that can be easy.
true. Yeah, that's a complicated topic for you. Um,
Yep.
I don't know. I just wanted to point out, like, what is this? What is the purpose of this square here with like the two smaller squares? Like, what is that? Just get rid of it. It just bothers me so much. Like, I'm glad they went with the whole like rectangular route. It's a lot simpler. Like, instead of some huge deformed oval.
I'm just imagining you being like the head guy at Microsoft, and they bring it to you at the desk, and they're like, "So this is what we have to sign," and you're just like, smash the table. What is this? Why is this here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would probably do. I'd be like, okay, what's the point of that? That's useless. Take it out or you're fired.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
I'll send you to meet Steve Jobs.
oh Jesus, I don't even understand what you said, but whatever. Let's move on. And then there's 10 reasons to love the operating system. I don't know why I saved this. Let's actually delete this right now. Bam, rejected. All right. The controller. I just wanted to talk about this because in the last episode I was talking about the controller, how it had like the whole feedback thing in it, but they keep
Yep.
going back and forth about it, and now they release this image, which is like the advertisements and stuff that they're gonna put in stores. And if you look here, it says new vibration motors in the triggers. It doesn't say feedback motors. So I don't know if they're referring to the same thing or if it is going to be vibration only or just feedback. And it's really bothering me because I would prefer feedback. Because
There is going to be feedback.
okay,
Uh, that is confirmed because people have tried the controller and in like at gaming conventions and such, and there are uh, uh, things showing off the feedback, specifically the feedback on the triggers.
Okay, good, because it's like really, honestly, it's stressing me out.
Yeah.
Because I would prefer, like they've even exemplified, and we talked about it last time, to be able to play Battlefield 4 and feel, a different trigger pressure depending on the gun I'm using. Like that's awesome. I
It would be
can't wait.
awesome if the Barrett had a stronger trigger pull.
Yeah, I mean, I've shot one in real life, not loaded, but
Not
I
loaded.
I
I
dry
shot
fired
one in
it.
real life, but I didn't.
Yeah, I dry fired it back when I used to work in an armory, and it's a huge difference. Obviously, I mean, it's a massive gun to begin with, but coming from like an AR-15 or a handgun, I mean, I can't wait to feel something like that in the triggers as best as they could implement it anyway.
Yeah. On that, I'd imagine the Barrett would even have a little bit of like recoil with the bolt uh, being released.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's a very, I mean, at least the Barrett that I was messing around with, man, I want to say it's the traditional. Oh, okay, I remember the name BMG, which is one of the companies that makes it. So I don't know if they're all similar to that, but it was a very mediocre, like rudimentary setup. It was almost like an AR-15. You could open it, it breaks open in half, and then all it was literally like the bolt and everything, and it had a huge spring. So yeah,
Yeah.
you pull that bolt back, and then when you fire it, even if it's dry firing, like the gun shakes and everything, it's like rattling all over the place. It's like okay. I mean, it wasn't a poor quality in any way. It was still like a $7,000 rifle, but
The thing is just so huge and amazing that
yeah, that's what she said.
that that's that. Yeah.
Okay, so last thing to talk about before Infidel goes into his Arma stuff, Minecraft, pew pew, is this was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. There's finally a release date for the Xbox One. Yeah,
Clap, clap, clap.
November 22nd. So I'll be getting it on release day. I'm not getting it at midnight because I got release day shipping because I'm awesome. Thanks, Amazon. You guys are great. You could pay me for that commercial, by the way.
this, this episode of Battlefield Podcast isn't brought to you by this, but we'll say it anyway.
Yeah, it's not sponsored by Amazon, but if you guys want to sponsor us, please contact us at this email. um, so yeah, November 22nd, guys. If you're getting Xbox One, which I highly recommend, do it.
I'm
It al-
extremely surprised that it isn't 11, 12, 13.
it also has a whopping like zero point zero 0.07 gigahertz increase in CPU power, which is something a last minute like tweak that they did just to surpass the PS4. But it might sound like a very little difference in the PC world, but I guess on consoles it makes a difference. So it went from 1.6 gigahertz to 1.75.
I didn't know you could speak Arabic.
What? Gigahertz? You don't know what that is? Jesus. All right. Go into your I got your 7 days to die thing pulled up. Go ahead.
Whoa. 7 days to die.
The survival horde crafting game.
Yeah. ZombieCraft.
All right. Oh, this is a Kickstarter? It's not available yet?
It's a Kickstarter, but it's it's a very successful Kickstarter, and it is in alpha right now.
All right,
It-
so give me the details.
yes,
Is this
yeah.
does this have anything to do with Armor, or is this a standalone game?
It's a standalone Kickstarter game.
Okay. Let's
It's,
go ahead and
it's an indie Kickstarter game. Obviously, it's made by a group called the Fun Pimps.
original.
Original, and yeah, you can just watch the video and know what it is. Basically, it's some guys played Minecraft and DayZ and said, "Hey, it would have been great if we put these together." So they made 7 Days to Die. It has really bad graphics, and the blocks are not perfectly square. They're all like twisty and stuff.
Yeah, I see that. I guess
Uh,
they tried to add some type of actual, not even texture, but shape to squares, which would make no sense.
it's actually kind of strange. When you're going around, it's kind of like everything's kind of broken down and weak and stuff. I guess it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I'm sure you could just take a pickaxe to anything and it just breaks, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, basically. There, it's not. as like cartoony as it may seem, or as like Minecraft may seem. There's actually physics to blocks. Like if you make a mine and you're digging a really wide open space, eventually it'll get so wide open without support that it will cave in on itself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I've actually got a mine going right now where I'm so scared it's gonna collapse that I put supports like everywhere.
Wait, wait,
Uh,
wait.
it,
Cause I'm watching this video and it actually looks very interesting. It looks like a cool game. Um, this game's available to play right now?
yes, it is like 35 bucks I think
Oh,
to
okay.
get.
And I see you could set up like defenses and everything against the zombies.
Yes, there's a very intricate defense system because at night, if you're outside at night or you don't have the good defenses, you're pretty much screwed. As you can see in this video right now, uh, the zombies get much more aggressive at night.
Right. Typical, you know.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with like they can see better or something. I don't know. And there's a lot of good stuff. You can craft like spikes to make defenses, and certain materials are stronger than other materials to make defenses. Uh,
It's
the
actually really cool.
things aren't as easy to come by. Certain things aren't as easy to come by. Like I don't think you can craft it like a chainsaw or an auger. I
I
think.
just want to point out, I like how he goes from, a chainsaw, it's all like tranquil and stuff, and he's just chopping down trees to using the chainsaw on the zombies.
Yeah.
It
It
looks like a
is.
very, I mean, it's a great concept, honestly. I mean,
It's
I know it's
very
kind of like
interesting.
two
I
games put
love it.
together, but it looks pretty great.
I love it. I mean, it's a good game. I've been really enjoying it. Unfortunately, it's not too stable right now, but I'm looking forward to see what comes next. They're going to be implementing new enemies that can like right now it's basically just zombies, uh, just hanging around being bros, and then they'll chase you like conventional zombies. Uh, but basically how zombies were made in this world is there was some kind of nuclear war, and this is the only spot left. Uh, Oh, they right now. Well, right now that I'm seeing it, it's showing how some things can be like built out more without collapsing
Right.
and whatnot. Uh, I'm just really enjoying the game. I definitely recommend it. I recommend supporting it.
Now,
Um,
questions. I have questions now. So, what I've noticed is when these things are collapsing, even some parts in the video that he's blowing up like a gas station type thing,
yeah,
everything does collapse to the ground and all that, but you can't pick up the blocks because it seems like they disappear.
yeah, they break. They're gone. You lose them if they collapse like that.
Oh, okay.
So you can't. Something very fun to do is to take some oil drums and bring them into a hole and then shoot them to make them blow up.
Right.
And now there's a food commercial on apparently.
Which is kind
Uh,
of like TNT in Minecraft.
yeah. Well, there is TNT in this.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make that and you can blow it up, but you lose the blocks that it blows up. But
Right.
it weakens blocks around it, but it and doesn't destroy it in some
Okay.
places. So then you can go and one hit them with your pickaxe. So that's a nice little way to get doing that, as long as it doesn't collapse on your head.
Now, do you know if this game has like rare things? I guess, kind of like the equivalent to Minecraft where you have like diamonds and things like that.
Yes, it definitely has different things like that. Whoa, what is this map they're showing? Don't have
Oh,
any
so they have
symbols.
different classes apparently. Oh, that's cool. So you have skills in the game also.
Not yet. There will be.
Oh, right, because this is the Kickstarter trailer, so they're kind of showing like everything they
What they
want to do.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Uh,
solo co-op and multiplayer. That's cool.
Something really interesting is, uh, well, they showed a bridge earlier in the video. I I spawned next to that once, walked across it, and it collapsed under me.
Just like out of nowhere.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Like it wasn't strong enough to support me or something.
Oh, because you were fat, is what you're trying to say.
Yes,
You're
and
too
it
fat.
killed me.
Right. Um.
Oh, and the reason why it's called 7 Days to Die is the zombies get harder. Whoa. Oh, sorry. The zombies. The zombies get harder as the days go on.
Right.
They're showing off the like create a world mode that isn't available yet. I was just like, what?
Okay, right now I have two more questions. First one is there only one map at the moment?
Yes, there's only one map and it has like Minecraft style biomes where there's a desert and there's like a town and stuff and this is
Okay, so that's cool. Do they have like snow biomes and all that too yet, or?
not yet.
Okay.
Uh, it's basically it's not like an infinite world or anything like Minecraft. There's borders where there's just like nuclear waste and that's how they stop you from going outside the map.
Right.
It'll kill you.
Is it an
Right.
instant death, or you could like run out for a second and then come
You
back
can
in?
run out for a second and come back.
Okay. And then next question is this similar to the Arma, alpha, beta, etc. that once you own the game, it'll keep updating up to the full version? Or is that not the case?
What?
You didn't understand the question? Okay, I'll make it
Can you
simple.
repeat that?
I'll make it simple. You paid $35, right? And right now it's like in beta or whatever. Are you gonna have
Uh-huh.
the full game when it releases?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. I don't know.
You think so? That's the stuff you gotta find out, Infidel.
I'm just testing it, okay?
You're ripping yourself off.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go with it. Now, if you don't have any more questions, I got something else to go into.
Oh wait, I do have one more question, which
Okay.
I just remembered because obviously we both live stream. I noticed you're trying to get into that a lot more lately. Is there an NDA or something? Like, how come you haven't live streamed this? Are you
The
not
reason
able
I
to?
haven't live streamed it is because it's a very unstable uh, version right now.
Okay.
So, due to a lot of times the game will crash.
Oh,
Due
okay.
to that,
So
a
it
lot of times
literally,
the game will
like, the
crash.
game doesn't stay running. It'll crash and stuff.
Yeah, it'll crash and stuff, and there's a lot of frame drops and all that, and it has nothing to do with my system or anything. It's just how the game is unstable at this time.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Make it a
Because
sense.
it's pretty much in its pre-alpha stage, but since they can't call it pre-alpha, they're gonna call it alpha.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they say
Uh,
here alpha version 1.1 is coming soon. So, are
yes.
they updating frequently, or it's more like once a month or something?
I have not been through an update yet.
Oh, how long have you had the game?
About 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll
So
see.
moving on to Arma 3,
Okay.
all things. Arma 3 in the development, in the dev group system place area, uh, they have updated it to have the final version of the game and finish testing. Um,
Right,
for
because
for
it's
the
releasing very
it's
soon, right?
releasing in 6 days,
Oh.
and so that means everything that's going to be in Arma 3 is in Arma 3 right now for the dev build, which I'm running right now, and I'm somewhat disappointed.
Really?
Yes,
Wow, I'm actually glad I sold my copy then.
they got they got very lazy about this game,
Wow.
which I'm somewhat disappointed with, but I'm also not because we're basically in the same spot where we started with Arma 2, where it barely had anything. It had some vehicles, some maps, and some player units and such.
Right.
But I'm perfectly fine with that because even Arma 2 was just Arma 2, and then they released the largest DLC in the Arma history, which is Operation Arrowhead. And that basically made Arma what it is today.
Right.
Most of the things you know as Arma came in the 1976, came in the, the Operation Arrowhead. And also, I'm not too upset with how little stuff is actually in the full release of Arma 3 because of you can pretty much make whatever you want with a mod. You don't need to have anything but the map and the people in the base game and like the engine to have a good game because you can just add whatever you want with a mod.
Right. So, okay, in that case, what's disappointing about it though? Like, is it because it's missing things, or
It's
it's
missing tons of things. I mean, like the only thing it has going for it is it looks pretty good.
okay?
Uh, it barely has any vehicles. It barely has any units. I mean, it has 2 jets, and they're only for one team. And they're not even like known jets. They're like L-39s, which I'm sure you've never heard of.
Yeah, probably not. That's
Uh,
interesting, man. I mean, I would probably be disappointed too. I mean, if you're disappointed, that's a big deal.
yeah, but it's not too big of a deal to me because uh, due to the fact that the game is based in 2025 or somewhere around there.
Right.
In case anyone doesn't know, I'm in the 15th MEU Realism Unit for Arma 2, which is fairly large and known. And since we're a realism unit, we have to do things modern day. So our mod team is basically creating everything for us.
That's
They have
crazy.
to
And
make
and you guys have people that know how to do that, like the actual models and everything.
Yes, we have an extensive mod team.
Oh, that's cool.
They basically have to make the Abrams tank. They have to make the Amtrak. They have to make all our aircraft. They have to make our player skins, our weapons, uh, everything.
That's crazy. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why Arma 2 is still so popular and stuff. I mean, that's a good thing about not only playing on the PC, but if the actual developers of the game, let you do that, then the possibilities are endless, pretty much. It's all about Farming Simulator coming to Xbox tomorrow.
Xbox.
Oh, that's what Trigger Happy Sam says. I'm gonna have to
I
play some
thought it was
Farming
already out.
Simulator.
I've already got it. You want it?
You want it? Yeah, I know you have it, but you can't give it to me.
I believe there might be cross-platform multiplayer for Farming Simulator.
All right. So, are we closing this off?
Yeah, I think we're closing this off. I got nothing
All
to
right.
talk about that anyone cares about.
Yeah, I think the podcast is gonna be about an hour and 30 minutes now. Which, by the way, what I said in the beginning is gonna be the title of the podcast, so we don't have to worry about that now. Which is Gamescom question mark, more like Battlefield com.
No.
I knew you were gonna
No.
say no, but whatever. I'm the one that has to type it, so I'm putting it. I do
Don't
what I
worry, I've
want.
got a title.
I
I've
do what
got
I
a
want.
title. You don't do what you want.
Okay, what's the
My
title?
podcast.
What's
you
the
just talk.
what's the title? A lot.
The title is gonna be "Are You Listening?"
No, not again.
No, no, it's not. We never used it.
Okay, we'll see. We'll discuss it after I shut this down. So I don't know. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto 5 is pre-ordered. I'm gonna be live streaming it, like I said, when I unbox the collector's edition on September 17th. So you guys need to come around for that. Twitch.tv/Alex693.
Yeah, because you have to narrow that
Let me
down.
see. Let me check out the calendar right here. It's
And
fun.
I'm going to be streaming Arma 2 after the podcast live right now. For
Yeah.
you people that listen on like iTunes and YouTube, you suck.
So let's do this. I'm actually speaking of the Battlefield 4 beta. Also, I forgot to mention that it's been announced when it's going to start, and the public beta is going to be October 3rd, and then the private exclusive beta, so to speak, for people who pre-ordered, whatever the game or have Battlefield Premium, etc., that's going to start September 30th. Now, something I wanted to kind of brag about is that it seems like some people are getting extra early access, like myself, because the beta for me is actually going to start on September 28th. So,
Hey, the day before my birthday.
yeah, so I'll actually be streaming that on that weekend. September 28th is a Saturday, and I'll be able to preload it onto my computer already on the 26th. But if Grand Theft Auto comes out on the 17th, I'm thinking maybe that week we could do a podcast, and then we'll do another one after I start playing the beta, and hopefully you will as well. If anything, you could play it on October 3rd, and we'll follow up with the podcast for that. So that sounds like a plan.
Okay, the plans without my input. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening, watching, all that fun stuff. See ya.
Allrandom.net/chicken biscuit. I don't know.